players are starting earlier? Well, it's because, well, there will be a firework display in Douglas, and the hands have been shaken. Let's go.
Let the games begin.
Yep, I love that saying.
And meanwhile, Vidit, he hasn't realised he's meditating again. Which you think he's going to push, Ivanka?
A D4.
D4.
D4 or C4.
Yeah, I agree. Vidit, once he re-emerges from his trance, he will play some move. Nakamura's looking at him being like, are you sure you're awake, mate?
Yeah. Do you know in the olden times, I hasten to say, I'm hesitant to say olden times, but there's stories like of Bronstein taking 20 minutes to make his first move, and he did this in Olympiads and things, and his teammates were just looking at him going, what on earth are you doing?
Wow.
And we finally have a move, and it is not the Queen's Pawn, but it is the King's Pawn. So first potential surprise of the day.
Yeah, Vidit, maybe more known for his D4 openings. His kind of repertoire is vast, of course. It's quite comprehensive. And he goes for E4, which he has been dabbling in of late. And my favourite, my childhood favourite, the C3, the Alpine Sicilian.
And isn't it kind of the case that when it comes to the C3 Sicilian, it's been used as a way to get a comfortable draw? Minimum, yeah. I think you're right. It's definitely used to take the sting out of Black's blade, to take the risk out. Open Sicilians are very double-edged. We've seen that throughout this tournament, actually. Open Sicilians coming back into trend after disappearing off the elite scene for a while, but those are very double-edged. We've seen some chaotic battles. I think Vidit, wisely, and now he knows he's the leader, he's choosing what is renowned as a solid line. It's very hard for Black to kind of get a full-blooded fight here. The most forcing lines for Black tend to be fine, they tend to be equal, but with minimal winning chances. And Nakamura has been facing this a lot of late. He has tried various lines against the C3 Sicilian, as far as I'm aware. So maybe Vidit, he's prepared for all of those, and he's trying to push Nakamura into territory that he wouldn't really feel comfortable in if he wants to win. And we did see Hikaru wasn't quite exactly in this position, but earlier on the tournament against Osipenko, he was playing some G6 systems. But now, well, he's gone into the immediate combat mode and challenged in the center. So big question. Going to take the pawn, going to advance the pawn, transpose into advanced France, but somehow I suspect he's going to be taking the pawn, and yes.
He takes the pawn, and now Black has two main moves. Queen takes pawn is by far the most popular. Queen takes d5, but knight to f6 is a fashionable gambit line. Some risk involved there. White can keep the pawn, so it is recaptured. And like you said, a few rounds ago, he played for setups with g6, so he maybe has prepared there. Actually, in this tournament, we saw some big clashes with a pawn on g6. We've seen several games, including in the women's section, where Anna Muzichuk beat Asalbayeva earlier in the event. So g6 seems to be the trendy line. Various setups for Black, though. You can, of course, just bring a knight out. You can bring either knight out and then try to bring your bishop out to f5 or g4 later. Or you can close the bishop in with a move like pawn to e6. Those tend.
Searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Birds chirping and I hear my name, grasping into life is happy.
To be the main options. Nakamura, Ponchin. It's Black to play Hikaru Nakamura to move. We've had this position before, just 2 moves ago, where Black played knight to h5. The bishop drops back. Black retreated. The bishop's gone back to f4. So Vidit's actually the one initiating the repetition right now, and Hikaru, who isn't at the board, if he plays knight h5, it will be question time for Vidit.
Yeah, what do you think? Do you think Hikaru will be happy with a draw with Black pieces?
He'll play knight h5.
Okay.
I've seen too many of Hikaru's recap videos where he says, you couldn't do anything, chat. I couldn't do anything.
I literally don't care.
Yeah, the opponent wanted the draw, he was white. You saw Hikaru come towards the board there, then move away. He doesn't sit down, so he's actually checking out the results on other games. And he's actually watching Firouzja's game, because Hikaru, in an interview earlier this tournament, he mentioned it's not necessarily one of the 2 top spots, the candidate spots he wants. He secure his rating because he's a. There we go, knight h5.
I was going to take the bet, David. I'm so glad I didn't.
He wants to get one of those rating spots to the candidates, and at the moment, there's Anish, of course.
Someone needs to clip all these moments.
Just literally every game we go to, wherever in the tournament hall it is, we can go to board 55, Anish will be there. And Hikaru grimacing. To be fair, it is an equal position, so understandable. But if he does play knight f6 now, it's a draw offer. Anything else and the game goes on.
Okay.
Knight f6 would allow Vidit to claim a draw for repetition. Bishop f4.
Knight f6 played, and
board. Moment of truth. How is Vidit feeling? Does he want the good karma by playing on with white?
if he goes bishop f4, it's
3 times.
It's 3 times. So if he wants to claim the draw, he has to write down on his score sheet bishop f4. He needs to call over the arbiter and say, I'm going to make this move.
He's staring us down in the camera. He's looking at us. He's asking us what we want. We want blood. We want
you to play Vidit.
But it's understandable. He's in the lead, and it won't get much tougher than Nakamura for the rest of the rounds.
Up close and personal with Vidit, and
what's going through his mind? How are your mind reading skills, Yamaka?
Yeah, he's literally saying. Now he's talking himself into taking this draw. He's like, well, the position is equal. You know, I could play on, but maybe I will lose. So let's just. There you go. Yeah. It's a draw. I'll take it.
It's the pragmatic decision, but there is this phenomenon, and it's not just a joke. It's I've witnessed it myself in plenty of tournaments. If you agree a quick draw with white, you tend to get punished. It means somehow in your next game you're not quite fully focused. Remember, he's played the Grand Swiss Gambit. He's won 5 of his last 6 games. The wind is behind his sails. Sometimes you need to capitalize on the momentum and your form. As soon as you lose kind of that determination to win, things backfire. And there's an Ishigiri, of course. Wow, checking out the score sheets. And
I told you. I'm sorry. That was just too much.
Meanwhile, the handshake, it is a draw.
It is a draw. Wow. Okay, so a quick draw between Vidit and Hikaru, who repeated the position 3 times. And, well,